challenge for many families here in the DR. Now, you're looking at one of them. Leslie Wilson joins me now from We Watch to talk about these challenges. Leslie, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is people think, you know, this all-day kindergarten is all the rage and all the info here in Ontario, but that you know, I remember when I was a kid, one of the teachers said to me that, do you know what we are as teachers? It's the cheapest form of daycare. And I thought that was just not true. But now, dealing with what you do, how have things changed these days?
Well,
what are the challenges?
The all-day learning's just started, so I think we have to give it some time and see how it all unfolds.
Right.
I do think we have to be careful now because you have children at a young age in more of an institutionalized setting.
Right.
And for their early years, we've got to still allow them to develop their own personality. So I think that for their early years, let's keep them in a small group and you know, have an adaptable routine before we move them into this larger group. The other problem is, you know, it's a very long day for children, especially of working parents.
It is.
And to take them to a before and after school program, it's going to be challenging for working parents.
You said a key word there too, that as a parent myself of 2 kids, and everyone watching the show knows, institutionalized.
Yes.
You know, that's a heavy word when you're talking. It's funny, if you talk about me institutionalized, that's cool. But when I'm talking about my kids, I'm like, wow. So what is the difference with the We Watch program that makes it non-institutional?
Well, first of all, you're going to go out and interview and pick the home that you like the best, with the provider that you want.
Right.
And your child's going to have a chance to interact. So you're going to take a cue from your child. Is this a good place for them?
Right.
Your likes and dislikes in a home, in a routine, you know, from everything from the time they get dropped off to the time they're picked up, you're going to have a role in.
Okay. So, and the locations you have in Durham, you have quite a few locations.
Locations would be scattered throughout Durham.
Right.
Parents would fill out a request for care. They're going to put down their criteria in terms of location, hours, type of home, type of provider. You're going to take your child out, do the interviewing, and it's a two-way match. If the provider likes your situation and you like theirs, then you've got a match. Now,
you know, as a parent too, if I were to come to We Watch, what kind of questions should I ask of We Watch? That would be
things that are obviously important to you, and everybody has their different threshold of criteria. You know, sleeping arrangements, daily routine, how many hours a day does the provider spend outside? You know, what's her programming like? Menu planning, anything that goes on in your day at home, you would want to ask of the provider in her day.
Absolutely. And now that they're back to school, how would that routine fit into it too, depending on the age of the kids?
If they're in a before and after?
Yes.
Again, you know, I think that for before and after school, you just want that comfortable, small environment. And what's going to happen with them after school? Does she have activities for them? Does she allow them downtime, snacks, you know, that kind of thing?
We have a few photos here to show, you said? Wonderful. Oh, they didn't show me that? Okay, just pointing at the monitor. Sorry about that, Leslie. I thought we had some photographs there. It's like, okay, good. Straighten my tie. That's good. Do I not look nice today? There we go. So you see, I couldn't go to a We Watch program. I don't look good enough. Okay.
You would do fine.
I would do okay. So now that the We Watch program's in your house, what kind of things can we expect on a day-to-day?
Keep in mind that it's not in your home, it's in a provider's home. So every day when you drop your child off, you're going to find out what's the planned activities for the day.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you're going to get a report as to how your child was during the day.
Obviously, there we go. There's so many different programs that are out there. Of course, you know, generally the institutionalized school, you'd say. There's Montessori. And then there's traditional daycare. What kind of advantages will the We Watch program give to you know, a parent like myself?
In our opinion, it's a very small group. There can't be any more than 5 children in a home, so that's a lovely small group. It helps keep the illnesses away. It allows for a lot of individualized attention, and it allows for a provider to mesh her routine to your child rather than your child having to be meshed into a routine.
Okay.
There is a lot of individualized programming based on the age of the child, and you know, the day can be adapted to their mood for the day. Okay,
and I guess too, if you know, being a parent myself, I'd want to know about the history of We Watch.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the background of We Watch so we know how long you've been around.
We've been around 20 plus years.
Okay.
In the Durham region, again, 20 plus years as well. In terms of the homes and the providers, you can get as much history and references as you'd like. You can have references from current people, from past people.
Right.
You know, as well as, you know, references on the people that run the agency.
Right, okay.
But the main thing is to know the home that you're going to. You're the one that's going to be selecting it.
Okay.
You're never going to be taking your child and not know who's looking after him or her for the day.
For sure. And it's not something we like to get into a lot on the show, but is it a, how is it cost effective wise? Because
generally, licensed private home daycare is less than center-based care.
no kidding.
Slightly more than the private individual,
Right.
But again, less than a nanny, less than licensed
Right.
childcare.
And so what are you hearing, the feedback you're hearing back from families? They must love
Parents
it, huh?
love it. I mean, you know, the kids love it. They grow attached to their provider. It becomes a second home. Many
Okay.
of them keep in touch for years afterwards.
Right.
And you've got a person that's going to make quite an impact on your child's life.
Okay, unbelievable. Now, before we go, we're going to see your website coming up in a second, but tell
Perfect.
us two or three great reasons why we should set our kids into We Watch.
Again, we've got a huge programming system in place. It's called our We Learn program. You can find more information about that on our website.
Right.
You've got the small numbers, and you've got the choice over who's looking after your child each and every day.
So it's always about the selection that makes it
Absolutely.
really good. Oh, good. Well, thank you so much. Now,
Thank you.
give me a lot to think about, but I got in trouble for, do I look okay now, Leslie?
You
Am I
look
okay?
perfect.
Poor Leslie's here, and I have the crew screaming at me here. Does the tie look okay?
Perfect.
See, that's what it's all about. Thanks a lot. So WeWatch.com, it's a great website. I was checking it out earlier today, and there's a lot of information there, and it's an unbelievable program.
Thank you very much.
Best to you, and it's
Thank
all
you.
across the province, so check it out.
Thank you.